Hello and welcome to Sheba online classes. Standard 9, are you ready to learn Unit 3? Okay, let's get started. So, today I am going to take prose lesson Old Man River. Okay, this is taken by the author is Dorothy Deming. First I will explain to you the characters. So, it is actually a drama. Okay, a situation how you are faced, the one small family is faced with a disaster, natural disaster, about a storm. Okay, I will first explain to you the characters. There are so many characters, you should know it, a pictorial way of explaining the characters. Okay. Okay, the characters are, first one, Amy Marsh. Amy Marsh and Betty Marsh are sisters. Okay, they are living in their house, and that is, she is 17-year-old. Amy Marsh is 17-year-old girl. Her sister is, Betty Marsh. Okay, now their neighbor, that is next to their house, two girls, that is Rose Field and Sarah Field. They both are sisters. They have come to Betty's house to play. Okay, just to spend time together. It's a holiday, so they came to play with them. And then their neighbor and school friend, his name is Jim Hall. Okay, he is a 17-year-old boy and he served in the Junior Red Cross. Okay, these are the main characters. And then after the disaster is over, then there are two persons who come to rescue them. One is Mr. Peter, that is, he is a Red Cross member, and then another lady, that is Red Cross nurse. Her name is Penny Marsh. She is a Red Cross nurse. So, these are the main characters. So, this whole lesson is woven around them only. Okay. Now, you understood about the thing, all you know the characters, no? Okay. Hope you understood the characters. You saw the pictures, no? Like who is Amy Marsh, Betty Marsh. Amy Marsh and Betty Marsh are sisters, and then their neighbor, that is, they are staying in a place where like there's a river near their house. Okay, and then next to just one meter distance, and there's another one house, that is whose house? Rose and Sarah Field's house. Okay. So, these are all getting together in one house because it's a holiday time. They are all in Amy's house and having a jolly good time over there. So, as they were playing, that is Betty and Amy were both sitting and knitting, that is, you know how to do that. With wool they made sweaters and all that. They were sitting and knitting, and in the morning in the radio they were telling that there is going to be a storm, and since 3 days it's been raining. Okay, raining, but not so heavily, just it kept raining, but afterwards only it became worse. Okay, then afterwards what happened? So, they were sitting, and Betty and Sarah were sitting and reading magazines, and they were playing. They were small children, no? They were playing. So, Amy and Betty only are little elders. So, they were sitting and knitting, and they were talking or happily about it. And then afterwards, she gets a call. That is, their mother, Amy's mother, is gone to she's taken her brother Dick. Amy's mom, and she's taken her mother, her brother Dick, to the dentist. That is in Mrs. Brunt's house. Okay, she's gone there. That she has to cross the river and go that side. Quite a long distance from the house. She's gone there, and she's still not come back as yet. And the weather is getting worse. Okay, so they were worried, like mom is still not come. Like it's going to be worse. I hope she comes earlier. And then what happened? Meanwhile, the rain started. It started raining heavily. Okay, it started raining very, very heavy. Severe rain was. Then what happened? Betty looked out of the window and she wanted to go to her house, but she couldn't go because outside there was field, that is the garden outside, no, was totally filling up with water, because the Old Man River, that is the river which is very near to their house, is overflowing. And they were talking, that is, they were sitting inside the house and talking, say, now it is already becoming so worst here, because the river is, all the snow is melting from the mountains, and it is overflowing, that is completely swelling up. The river is swelling up and the water is coming inside the houses. So, then they were really very scared, like now they are getting scared. Now, what is going to happen if the river overflows? Then till first their house only it will attack. It will come that the whole thing will, house will fill up with water. So, they were just, they closed all the doors and windows, and they are keeping quiet inside, getting scared. Then after some time they heard a knock at the door. Who is that? That is Jim. Jim Hall, that is he is Amy's friend at school, and he came to their rescue because his house also is say 1, 2, 3 kilometers away. And same thing is happening there. So he thought, okay, maybe all girls, mostly they are all girls only, Betty, Marsh, Rose, and all these girls are all girls. So there must be somebody to help them. Don't know what condition they are. So Jim came running from there. He came and he came to their rescue. They came there. He was totally drenched, fully wet, and outside, that is their garden, no, their out back garden outside. It was like knee length. There was water. And then he came wading through the water. He knocked at the door, and then Amy and Betty opened the door, and they said they were very relieved to see Jim in the house. Oh, thanks them, you came here. Said, okay, I hope you all are fine girls. Then he inquired about the mother. Said, mother is still not come. She's gone to Mrs. Brunt's house to take Dick to the dentist. She's still not come. Then meanwhile, that is father is not there. That is Amy's father has gone to Chicago, but he is not there. So only these children are here. Then Jim said, okay, gather all what is possible, we can, whatever we have to gather, because this really getting worse. The river is getting filled up, it's overflowing, it's swelling up. So we should definitely take precaution. So he said, okay, then what can we do? He said, then Amy was little getting scared. So, but Jim went to speak to Amy, said, don't get scared, we are only elders over here. They both were 17-year-olds, no? So then don't get scared. If we get scared, the others are all small children, they will become worried about that and they will get worked up. Don't get scared. Try to control your emotions and feelings. Don't think. I know you are scared, but we will work it out. We will definitely work it out, because I was in, Jim will say, I was in the Junior Red Cross. So I have done lot of this kind of rescue works. So definitely I will help you. He said, don't have to get scared. So he then afterwards Amy gathered her strength, said, no, yes, of course we are the elders, so somehow we have to that is take care of the whole family. That is all the neighbors and them. Okay. Then what happened? Then what Jim told Betty and Rose to go get flashlights and blankets and everything, whatever is possible. And then Betty and Amy went to get gathered little food also, whatever food is possible. Then suddenly the phone rang, and who? That is Amy's mother called up. Amy's mother called and said, I am not able to come, and the line was not at all clear also, because it is raining and the telephone lines all be obstructed. So she called up and said, I am not be able to come. So please take care of Rose and Betty, tell them not to go to the house, tell them to sleep in the house itself. Don't let them go. Okay. Then he said Jim also is here. Oh, then she was quite relieved. Mother was relieved. Jim is here. Okay. Then all of you please take care. Fill water, because anytime there will be current. As soon as she said, the current went away. That is there was a power cut in that place, and then immediately they went, filled up water tubs and buckets, and fully they filled water, because without water it can't be, no. So they shut all the doors and windows, and then afterwards Jim said, okay, now we got everything ready, flashlights, blankets, then food and whatever is possible, jackets, everything they were ready. Then while what happened is Betty had gone to get something from the tubs and pails from the outside. That time what happened, Sarah had slowly slipped out of the house. She went out. Nobody knew that she had gone out. Then while everybody was sitting around the hall, all gathered all the things, and they were checking if they have everything, Sarah was missing. Suddenly from outside they could hear somebody crying sound. Then everybody was searching. Then they heard, how did she went outside? What happened is, there is a tree house. You know, children play on the tree. They will be having a small playhouse. Okay. So this Sarah had somehow tried to. She went out and climbed up the tree. There was a ladder there. Climbed up and she was sitting inside the tree house. That place is a small place to play. So then looking at everybody was scared. What will happen? Anytime it will fall off means what will happen? So Jim, what he did is, he told everybody, don't panic, I will get her, he said. Then made everybody sit. Then he put on his coat and he waded through the water. Now the water was hip length. Okay, that much water has filled up the total ground over the backyard. So what he did is, he waded through the water. Then he reached that rooftop, tree house, and then slowly he brought her down, put her on the shoulders like that, and he came back to the house. So everybody started shouting. I said, why did you go out? No, I just want to go and see how. So children know, they want to explore. Okay, they are like that. They never listen. Stay in one place, they want to go explore something new things. So that thing happened to Sarah also, who are really very inquisitive. So she went there, and she was neighbor also. No, if anything happens, parents will come scolding Amy and others, isn't it? So the mother also called up and told, take care of Rose and Sarah. Okay, fine. Everybody had come inside. Now the door was closed. Now the water was filling up slowly. The river was overflowing, and totally it's going to come in any minute. It will come inside the house, the water. So then what happened? Even the bridges, all that where mother had to come. No, mother had to come, cross one bridge and come. The bridge was totally overflowing and broken. So mother was not able to come also. So now here the whole thing was situation was managed by Jim and Amy. Okay. Now Jim, what he said? Okay, don't have to panic. We will definitely somebody will come to help us. Don't worry about it. I have been trained to handle such situations. So he said, okay, fine. Then everything was really arranged well by Jim and Amy. And then afterwards, two of them were sleeping in one room. Another one, two others were sleeping in another room. Jim, what happened? He went to the attic. He went to the attic and checked whether everything is fine. In case if the water fills up in the hall, so he can take everybody to the attic. So he then power shorted. Now there is no power. They lighted candles. They took out the flashlights. So it was total darkness outside. They couldn't see anything in front of them. If the water also comes out, they won't be able to see because pitch dark it was outside. So then afterwards, suddenly he thought. Jim said, no, it's not. It's better. We should not stay in downstairs. We better go up. So he took everybody. He took all the Betty, Rose, Amy, Sarah, everybody went up to the attic. So attic is a safe place now. We can rest in the night here itself till anybody comes and rescues us. So he took everybody. We were all seated in the attic. Then as they were sitting there, then what happened? He thought of an idea. Jim, he took the flashlights with him. He from the attic. You know what is the attic? Attic is a place high up in this foreigners, these western countries. They have definitely they have in their house they have a basement and they have an attic that is on the roof. No, they will separate one house. They keep all the old things there, old that is unused things, furniture or whatever. They keep it there. So in that place like one storehouse. Okay, one store place like. So they go there and they'll be looking out. From there will be a window looking out, like there'll be tiles there, and from there he has to come down, and then only people can see him. So what happened? Jim climbed up the window and took out the flashlights and kept flashing them outside. For in case anybody sees this flashlight, they'll come to rescue us. So he kept on showing the flashlights. Then after some time, all rest of them were lying down. That is the resting. Then some were feeling hungry. They had their bread and what was possible to get from the kitchen. They had got everything stored up with them. And then after some time, what happened? Then from far they could hear something coming close to their house. One kind of a wood piece knocking on that is dashing on the doors and windows, because now slowly the water had come to their living room. The living room fully was until the sofa. The water had come inside overflowed inside their house. So luckily Jim had taken them to the attic. Okay, and then from there Jim had heard one wood thing coming and dashing onto the house, that is onto the window of the house. Then he wanted to look down because he couldn't see anything down. It was so total darkness. So he flashed his flashlight onto where the sound was coming. Then he saw a lifeboat. That is a rescue boat has come to rescue them. Then he kept flashing the light and they said, I am Peter over here. I have come from the Red Cross. I am come to rescue you. How many of you are here? They said. So we all are children here. Oh, only children, no elders. He said, okay, then definitely I will help you. Don't worry. I'll send a ladder. With Peter, there was another one lady. She is a nurse, Red Cross nurse. Okay, her name is Penny Marsh. So what happened? They sent down, put down one ladder, and one by one, please come down to the thing. So what happened? Jim had a ladder there near the attic somewhere. He had an old ladder. He put the ladder down from the attic window to the boat, but it was very short. It is not very say it was not so big. The ladder it was not reaching the boat, but even then they held on to it. So they first, who were the smallest? Sarah and then Betty. They one by one they were letting them down. When Sarah had gone down, it was totally dark. She couldn't see the step. Small child, no, she couldn't see the step. So when she went there, what happened is, and then what happened? The ladder was quite small. So they slowly sent Sarah down. But Sarah, what happened? As she was coming down, she slipped. She couldn't touch the thing. Small child, she didn't. The ladder was quite big, so she couldn't take the next step. She slipped and she fell down. So from the attic, she fallen down to the first floor. So then what happened? She was lying down there. Then Jim and Mr. Peter ran up to the child, and they say, but she was not able to get up because she had fractured her knee. That is up the knee. The thigh bone was fractured. So then what happened? She was not able to lift her up. Then Amy and Betty got pillows from the house. Then they put that pillow, tie up like one stringed up, so that nothing should not get more damage to her thigh, to her leg. Then tie her up again. Then slowly put her into like one thing and slowly lowered her. Tie her up with the rope and slowly lower her down to the boat. And then afterwards, from there, that Penny Marsh had given her first aid, and whatever she could do for the time being, she gave it her. And then slowly Sarah, then Betty, and then Rose got down, and then only 3 at a time. It's a small lifeboat, so everybody can't get into it. So only Amy and Jim stayed back. So others had rest of them had gone down. And then Peter said, don't worry, I will come and rescue you again. I will take them to the Red Cross, because Sarah has to go to the hospital immediately. So get her leg bandaged. So they left from there. He said, Betty and the Peter and the nurse said, don't worry, we will come back and rescue you. Till then he gave one jar of that is a flask of coffee and gave it to Jim. So then you have it, relax, don't get scared, don't get panic, we will come and rescue you. So from there the boat goes away, and here they will be sitting on the attic. Who's that? Amy and Jim will be sitting in the attic window and be watching out. They say, we had controlled this so well, isn't it? So he said, okay, Jim, thanks a lot to Jim. She said, Amy, but Jim will say, Amy, not more than me, you handled the situation very well. Instead of getting panicked and instead of crying and letting the whole house down and making others also to panic, you handle the situation so well. So what do we understand by this? Then afterwards, Amy and that Jim were rescued. So this lesson is telling you how to manage a disaster. So disaster management is a very big issue, isn't it? Everybody must learn that. We should not be panicked. If you panic, what will happen? You will not be able to save yourself or the others also. So you must use your knowledge, what at that time what you should do, what you should first we need. That is what we need. We need first aid. First aid should be there. Every house we should have a first aid. And then how to manage it, how to manage the others, how to call for help. All this is a very big talent for everybody to handle disaster management. Okay, so this is a very good lesson that is given to you at this point of time, so that you will know that those who are in scouts, guides, volunteers in our school, you should know this, and you should tell the others also to how to manage such kind of a disaster when it strikes you. Disaster comes suddenly, doesn't tell you, oh, I am going to come tomorrow, tsunami is going to come tomorrow, or storm, nothing. Suddenly it will strike you. So you must know how to handle it. Okay, thank you.